Welcome to today's video where I'm going to share with you how to replace the spur gear in a Maverick Quantum Flux. This time I'll be using a metal spur gear. The reason? This is the second spur gear that I've burned out since I started running the Quantum on 3S batteries. Hopefully putting a metal spur gear in is going to alleviate that weakness. First thing's pretty straightforward. Get under the shell. The spur gear lives here under this cover. Accessing it is a little tricky. You do need to remove the rear subframe assembly in order to replace the spur gear. To begin with, take out the 3 screws from the dust cover. Then you can lift that dust cover off, and what you'll see when you get inside there is the pinion gear attached to the rear of the motor and the spur gear, which is the larger one, and you can see immediately that that is quite badly damaged. If I rotate that around, there are some teeth that are better than others. That is definitely not going to go anywhere under its own power until that gear is replaced. You can then loosen the retainer screw for the motor. The motor's going to stay installed. You'll need to remove this grub screw from the driveshaft coupling. Turning the car over, remove the 2 lower subframe screws. Turning back over again to the top, remove another 2 upper subframe screws. At this point, it could feel like this should be ready to come apart. It's not ready yet. There are actually another 2 subframe screws hiding. You can see the first one there on the left side of the spur gear. The second one just down there between the spur gear and that little plastic bracket. Reaching right down into here. It's easier with a torch. That's one, and I dropped it. Fortunately, I've got my magnet. Once those 6 retaining screws are out, you should then be able to disconnect the rear subframe, which will come away, bringing the spur gear with it. For now, you can put the rest of the car aside. This is the rest of the gear lying on the bench here. The gear is held in place by this little Circlip. You'll need to carefully remove that with a small screwdriver. You'll then need to remove the bash plate, these 6 screws here. Once that's removed, you can then slide the gear straight off. Be careful not to lose this little dowel. This is really important to make sure that the gear is locked to the shaft. Replacing the gear is as simple as sliding the new spur gear back into position, making sure that little dowel gets lodged into the recess in the rear. If you try and force the Circlip on when it looks like this, then it's going to damage the Circlip. You need to actually pull the shaft out of the differential and push the gear back against the differential housing a little bit, and when you do that, you'll see the recess that's cut into the shaft there for the circlip to go into. If you don't do this, you might end up damaging the circlip and having to order another spare part. Small circlips like this can be notoriously difficult to put in place, but if you're careful with a pair of long nose pliers, you should be able to click it in just nicely. Now reassembly can begin, starting with the bash plate. 6 countersunk screws, 4 are self-tappers and 2 are machine thread. The machine thread screws go toward the center of the vehicle and the self-tap screws go into the rear. The self-tappers are driving into plastic, so be careful not to over tighten them. It could be very easy to strip those threads. Can then reassemble carefully. The subframe back to the chassis. A little bit tricky here, lining up the shaft with the coupling. I'm using my magnet to get it into position. This is probably the most tricky part of the job because you need to get the flat section of the output shaft lined up with the grub screw hole, or pick it up and turn the wheels to rotate that little axle shaft. Then you'll need to position that little collet onto it. If you just lift up one of the front wheels, you'll be able to rotate that forward drive shaft while the back drive shaft stays locked. And you want to do that until that hole in the grub screw lines up with the flat on the output shaft. Then you can push that coupling all the way to the rear and put the grub screw back in. Providing you've got the flat under the grub screw, as you tighten it, it will push the flat into the correct position. You don't need to worry about it being a few degrees out. You do tighten it firmly and snugly all the way down. Next, you can install all of the subframe mounting screws back into position. If they don't line up at first, wriggle the subframe and the chassis a little and they should come back into alignment. Remember not to over tighten these screws as they are going only into plastic. Reinstall the motor mount screw to the top. This has a threaded into the plastic, and then the nut on the other side is a lock nut, so you can do your adjustment first, then install the lock nut and tighten it down. When I built my Kyosho car, they said you should be able to get a little sheet of paper and pull that through the gear. It should crinkle without tearing the paper. Now there is a little screw lower down in here. It is worth getting in there and checking that that is actually tight as well. Now I'll just come in there with the Allen key and see if I can get a final sense of how tight that is. The dust cover should slot in easily now. Don't do what I just did and put those upper screws in the wrong holes. They go in these two holes at the rear of the chassis. And also, don't forget to tighten the lock nut on the top motor mount. I haven't got a spanner that small. I'm cheating and using the long nose pliers. That's not ideal. Second time lucky. Now I can put the dust cover back in position. Alright, now for the test. And that sounds a lot better. That's it, how you can replace the spur gear on a Maverick Quantum Flux. Thanks for watching, see you next time.